For this video, we're going to review and transform Transformers Legacy United. This is the animated universe Optimus Prime action figure. Okay, so we're going to start the video in vehicle form. So, dimensions first, length of 5 inches, width of 2 inches, and cab height of 2.75. Okay, so areas on this track mode that I already painted are going to be the wheels, the rims of the wheels, and the cab lights. Nothing very fancy, just simple nail polish. So yellow nail polish, silver nail polish. Something that you could buy at Walmart and easily apply on your copy of this action figure. Okay, so let us take a look at the fuselage or the undercarriage of the figure. So very compact. This is the back. So these areas, if you wish to paint them, the taillights still could actually. So that is an area that I missed. Anyway, I could go back to this action figure later and paint that section. Okay, so the front tires are going to be covered. So compared to the back tires, this is a smaller tire. Okay, so accessories. Figure comes with only a single accessory, which is the axe. So the axe has a special feature wherein you have the capacity of lengthening the handle, and of course attaching a booster effect on this section for power attacks. So this is a detail of the axe, the power blade, the other side, and the handle. So it shortens and locks into place. So you heard the snap. So from vehicle form, let's transform this action figure. Okay, so let's take a hold of it. So we're going to start with the back section. So we have tabs on those two ends, and actually I'm going to show it. So just break the figure. So it's going to be those two tabs, 1 and 2, and they connect to this section. Actually, these are going to be the shoulders of the action figure. That is going to be the arms. Of course, that's going to be the chest, legs, feet, and this is going to be the section, the back cover. Okay, so from this section, you could already untab and separate that way, and these sections you could unsnap. So when transforming in vehicle mode 2, this also snaps into place. So just unsnap that area, these two. So let's change the angle so you guys could see it. Okay, there you go. And just lower the leg this way. With the foot forward. And for the meantime, leave it that way. Okay, so we'll move to the front part of the cab. So let's open this roof first. So untab it. So you have those two sections wherein you could use your nails to dig in and untab. Okay, very simple, right? And just position it this way, and you could untab this section of the cab now. So just hold in place. There you go. So we have the head unit of Optimus Prime. Okay, so why did I leave this section hanging this way? So from this position with the arms still in a collapse form, non-collapse form, I mean, we could rotate that section and bring it forward towards the chest. So this is going to be the chest because that's the head. Okay, so we're ready to move that section, and as you could see, guys, head, chest. Okay, next, let's separate the arms. Okay, so take hold of each arm and actually just unsnap that way. So from this position, from its snap position, you just move this section towards the head. So do the same thing with the right forearm or arm. Okay, now break these sections of the panel, and right now you could lower them this way. Okay, and leave those arms still in that position. Now let's move towards the leg. We're ready to assemble this part. Okay, so from this position, so take this part and fold it in, and that's going to form the shin. And you're ready to snap this section in place and fold the foot backwards and forwards. So that is already formed. So once again, so that is the position. So pull it backwards and this section forwards. So let's repeat this section too. So snap that into place because we have a peg. Same thing on this part. Take a hold of this section or that, and fold and snap it into place. Okay, make sure that it's nice and secure, and the leg is positioned that way. So just bring it backwards and forwards. Okay, so we have the foot, and this section of the foot, I also painted those yellow nail polish, nothing very fancy. Okay, so let's move towards this BC section, the chest and the arms. So let's form the body of the action figure. Okay, so from this state, so actually those are the front bumpers. So you just fold them this way. Now raise this section first, and as you could see, tab number 1, tab number 2, and they're going to connect in that section. That. Okay, so with these sections up, so just lower that part of the chest and tab it into place. Okay, Oh, tab number 1 done, and we're lowering this section, and we're looking for tab number 2. Okay. So that is how it looks. Now let's move towards the back. So just flip it, and you see those 2 tabs. So bring this section down and take a look at those 2 sections wherein they're going to tab onto these 2 pieces. Okay, so that section is going to connect with those. Okay, so here you go. Very easy and very simple. So this is going to form the back of the figure. Okay. So connect, come on guys. There you go. 1 and 2. Okay. So there you go. You have the back section formed. Now rotate, and we're ready to lower this section. And you see these 2 tabs is going to connect here, just below the head unit. And those area of the head unit, I also painted that yellow. Nothing very fancy, just a Sharpie. Anyway, they're permanent marker, and when you're going to move the head, you're not going to hit those stripes with your fingers. So it's going to be untouched actually, and the paint won't come off. So that's your security. Okay, so lower that section. So from this position, lower it that way, and engage those tabs and just snap them into place, and it's going to form right now the chest. Okay, next. So we're ready to form the arms. Okay, so from this section, from this side, as you could see, so could do it that way. I think that's the right way. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because you're just going to rotate, and you're going to rotate, and you're going to split this section open, and we have the shoulder, ball of the shoulder, and the forearm, and the elbow. Okay. Whoop. And I also painted these sections. So just pointing out the obvious. Okay, so there you go. We already have the arms done. Now, how does the hands unfold or reveal itself? So just raise this section, and with your fingernails just unsnap and snap the back of the forearm in. Now we have hand number 1, so we're going to do hand number 2, right section. Okay, so nails, there you go, and it unfolds, swap, and put it back in. There you go. Okay, so we have Optimus Prime in robot form. Okay, so let's put him on the review table and adjust our focus. Okay, so articulation points. Okay. So this is a more playable action figure versus its first edition, which we had back in the day, wherein it really looks good, the first one, but with regards to articulation, this has more engineering to it, so articulation is really better. So the head unit, that's the articulation that we're going to have. The shoulders, of course, has full 360 and the poses. We also have rotation on the bicep, and because of transformation, we have 2 articulation points for the elbow. Now, as for the handset, we have rotation on the handsets. Now, that is something that you cannot do with the first edition. Okay, so moving towards the body, we have rotation on the waistline. We have forward kicks, side kicks, back kicks, a bend on the elbow, on the knee, I mean. And because of transformation, we have rocker. And quite limited articulation on the foot. Okay. So, weapon storage. So you have that section of the siren light. You have the choice of either mounting it that way or this way. I prefer this way because the blade is not exposed, so the profile is slimmer. So just align and connect. That's simple. Okay. So we're ready to do a 360 view of the action figure. And as for height, this figure stands around the 7-inch mark, just below 7, actually just swag right 7. Okay, so from robot mode, which we really enjoy looking at this action figure, so let's transform this guy. Okay, so first let's disengage primary weapon, which is an axe. Put it aside. So let's take hold of the figure and move the table farther so we have space to really move this around. Okay, so first things first, let's get rid of the handsets. So we'll just take a hold of that, hide it in that way. So that takes care of hands number 1. Hand number 2. So we're hiding it back in. And we have hand number 2 hidden. Okay. So let's fold this in so it doesn't get in the way so much when we collapse a lot of the parts of the action figure. So your style, once you already have mastered transformation of this, could differ, but for looking at it right now, this is my preferred way of transforming it. Okay, so snap it into place. So we have that area collapsed. Okay, so let's move towards the leg. So with the legs, untab, pull forward, and these sections open and form, and just put this section up that way. So we're going to untab this section too. So okay, so at first when you're transforming this action figure, the parts are going to be very stiff, but once you've done it several times, 5 or 6, of course, because I'm reviewing this thing, I have to really master transformation. So the joints or connection points are now soft on this figure. Okay, so just position them that way so they don't really get in the way much. So it's going to look like that. Now we're ready to work on the body and these sections. Okay, oops, I knocked my camera. Okay, so first untab the back section. So just grab a hold of this area and it untabs easy, and lift that up so it would be, get out of the way of transformation, and move towards the chest. So we have that section to untab. So just grab and it's going to release. So no need to really exert much effort. Well, for the first time, I think the joints are going to be really stiff, or the connection points. But as you do it, it's not going to really be a thing. Okay, and we still have details for the cab. Okay, so that's a steering wheel and some of the panels. So the camera catches that. Okay, there you go. Okay, so from this position, collapsed. Now we're ready to move the arms. Oops, but first let us untab this section. So bring it out. So it's free of its tabs, as you could see. Tab number 1, tab number 2. Now we're going to rotate the arms. So rotate it that way. Rotate this section that way. So you know that you're doing it right because you have the side view mirrors pointing towards the orientation of the head, towards that way. Okay, now let's go back to this section. So we untab and we just lift these sections up a little bit because we're going to rotate this section. Okay, so we're going to rotate it backwards this way. It's going to look like this. And now let's form this section. So we're going to collapse parts of the action figure so it doesn't look very intimidating. Okay, so take hold of the legs of these sections and oops, actually not below but above, so just below the knee, I mean. Okay, so we're moving that section and oops, yep. Okay, so when you do that, untab these two sections first and you see that hook. So just set it in place that way. So once again, So that's going to make transforming this section very easy, because when you do this, it's just going to snap into place. And do the other section and push inwards until you hear the snap. There. Make sure it's a nice secure fit. So put a little bit on pressure on those tabs, and you're ready to secure the foot of the action figure. So one side first, tab it in. So 2 tabs, those sections. So fold and tab into place. So we have the back of the truck mode already formed, and this section is one hot mess. Okay. So raise these sections, clear it first. Raise these sections. So it's going to form the front bumper. Whoop. And once it engages the antenna of the head unit, lower this that way. And the front wheel, lower it. And snap it into place. So do the same thing on the other side. Move it a little bit that way. And set the other side in place, the front wheel. Now you have the front bumper. Okay, so snap it into place. And align. Now these sections, just take a hold of these units, which are now solid, and do that. Very easy. So it snaps into place. Do the same thing on this section. And just snap. Okay, so this is how the front section is going to look with the head of Optimus Prime. Okay, now let's start with the face of the truck. So those sections, hollow 1, 2, 3, 4, and take note of 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these sections should engage that, or those 2 sections, and those tabs should engage those 2 sections for a nice secure fit. Okay. But before we do that, let's move once again towards the back of the cab. We have those 2 tabs, 1, 2, and they're going to engage on these sections. Okay, so just raise them up and tab them into place. So just take a hold of this section of the truck mode as you do that, and snap it in. Oop. Okay. Okay, there you go. That easy. And once again, realign. Make sure it's a nice secure fit. So lay it on top of your table, as you could see, and rock back and forth. You know that all of the pieces are aligned because it's a nice sturdy surface. So no creaking left, right, or back and forth. Now you're ready to move towards the final phase. So moving those sections, so snapping them into place and snapping those sections in place. Okay, and align with the okay, we have one. Oh, okay, there you go. So we've got that section secured. There you go. Okay, and squeeze. So no gaps, no spaces. And last part is just going to be this section. The roof of the truck mode, and it's going to just fall into place that way. Okay, so a nice looking simple truck mode. And let's check for balance. As you could see, so do we have knocking? Nope, zero knocking, and it's nicely transformed. So I hope that this transformation tutorial helps you guys with regards to making the process very simple, very understandable, instead of having a very complicated explanation. So audio-visual presentation, of course. And these sections, you have the option of storing the axe. So just with the use of those pegs, so find how you wish to, yeah, you know what I mean. But it just, this axis just makes the transformation part of the figure. If it's on top, it really breaks aesthetics. So I'd rather just store this someplace else. Anyway, it's a nice big thing and you're not going to lose this in your collection room. Just place it in a Transformers bin, and when you need it, go look for it. Okay, so that's it. So I hope that you like this review. So if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.